This is going to be a crazy season, and obviously the odds for Inter to win it, rightfully so. Deserved champions under Kivu. They're going to be interesting to watch this campaign. But if anything, Italian football, Italian soccer, the league in itself has taught us to expect the unexpected in this league. Anything can happen at any given time, and especially the managerial changes going into this league. I'm hearing that it's 9 managerial changes, 9 new managers now in this off-season going into a new season, and 12 last season going into the campaign. So I'm intrigued, but don't forget that a new manager won it with Inter. So getting some sort of success as a new manager in this league is possible.
Yeah, okay. Right, well, this is good because I need to figure out what my Serie A team is going to be to support as well, because I don't have one yet.
Yeah, good.
So we're going to make our way through. We're going to obviously start at the bottom. We're going to start with the bottom 3. So, Ian, off you go. All right,
the prediction table. Be very careful how you respond to me on social media, because I am not the one that you want to be very aggressive with, especially if you're a Frosinone supporter. Frosinone come into the league, obviously. It's going to be interesting to see. They were second in Serie B last campaign. They scored 1 less goal than Venezia on the way to promotion, which was interesting and caught my attention. Also lost 1 less game as well. They did go 15 games unbeaten in the league, which was really impressive. And they have signed some German players, actually, most recently, or at least Bundesliga team players that have come into the football club. I still have them getting relegated. I don't think they've got enough. Now, 19's going to probably surprise you because I've put Monza in that position. You know why I've gone for Monza? This is someone you probably want to stay away from. Ivan Juric ball is now arriving at Monza, which is interesting. He's one of the most boring managers I've ever experienced in watching Italian football. And then, of course, he went to England with Southampton. He was boring there as well and very quickly shipped off. They have made some nice signings. Cutrone comes in through the door. He's the man, obviously, at Monza. So I'm intrigued to see how they've done. Obviously, with their signings, they spent around about 9 million in players, but is it enough? I've just got a feeling there's going to be a few surprises with new additions into the league as well. Monza will be struggling. Lecce, obviously disappointing in Coppa Italia.
Yeah.
You know, so Timsy, I feel like Lecce are going to struggle this campaign. They scored only 13 goals all of last season at home.
Wow. Wow, that is...
They scored more goals away from home than they scored at home. It was just desperately disappointing. So I'm intrigued to see how they handle it. I just don't think they were good. Obviously, very disappointing in Coppa Italia, getting knocked out as well. Yeah. I think Lecce are going to struggle this season. And that is my relegation trio. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, I mean, hard to argue, especially when you speak so passionately about it as well. It's like, who am I to disagree with the great Ian Joy, especially if you have a vendetta against one of the managers as well because of his boring football. Right, the rest of the bottom 10, 17 up to 11, we can kind of breeze through these, I guess. But, I mean, interesting. Udinese, Parma, obviously big teams in that bottom 10.
A lot of managerial change as well. Obviously, Sassuolo new into the division as well will make a bit of a change on the managerial side. Esposito comes in, Maldini, and also for Cagliari. That will be interesting to see how they handle it. Venezia now being promoted to Serie A 3 separate times, so obviously they've got experience going up and down, but I just for some reason have a feeling they're going to stay up. Sassuolo themselves, new manager Aquilani has come in through the door, so I'm intrigued to see how he handles it, especially after the presence that's departing. And they've also signed 20-year-old Adzic from Juventus, who scored in Coppa Italia and an outstanding player. Obviously, I could continue to go up the table, but as you get to the mid-table teams, pretty much all of these teams are mid-table teams as far as I'm concerned. So let's jump to the top half of the table, and I think obviously the more comfortable teams that you would say, there's a surprise with Lazio there.
Wow.
The reason why I've gone for Lazio is that they are a team that, in my opinion, have made an interesting change. Obviously, a new manager with Gattuso coming in through the door. Recent disappointment in Coppa Italia, also getting knocked out. Yeah, very disappointing. So out of Coppa Italia already, I've got a feeling they miss out on European football altogether. Now, it's a massive club, and obviously Gattuso's got a big presence about him on the sidelines, but I've not been impressed with him or his team, especially watching them in Coppa Italia. Let's go to number 9, where you're seeing the biggest surprise. Let me know what you think about that.
Wow.
Thank you.
I didn't expect that. I thought, perfect timing. Yeah. I thought you were going to get, maybe they've struggled for the Champions League spots, but I thought at least, you know, maybe 5th, 6th, 9th is a stretch.
Yeah, listen, it's a big stretch for me. Obviously, Cesca's magic has worked into the Champions League, and I think that will obviously continue. If you look at the signings, Nico Paz has become more permanent. Jan Couto came in through the door from Borussia Dortmund. These are terrific signings, and they already have a very good squad of players. But at the same time, Will we see at some point a drop? Because all it's been is positive after positive after positive for Como. I think at some point you're going to see a negative. And that negative at some point is teams figuring you out.
Yeah.
And obviously European football now for them to deal with. So that's difficult for Como. So I've put them all the way down in 9th, which I think will hurt them badly.
That sounds like my team right there. It's just like so much promise, and then the reality of juggling Champions League with the league sinks in.
I saw you parking your yacht as you were on your way to Stamford Studios today.
Right, Como might be my team. On to number 8.
A bit of a surprise here for Fiorentina, obviously. Last season they finished up in 15th place. They had to deal with a bit of a traumatic time off the field. They let in 50 goals last season in the league, which was obviously disappointing, and that's where they finished in the 15th spot. They'll be better this season. There's no doubt in my mind they'll be pushing for a European place. Moise Kean, will he be at the club? Will he not be at the club? Obviously, Como's been a team that's trying to sign him, but at the same time, Fiorentina will be a dangerous team. Fabio Grosso, though, it's a tough job, obviously, arriving from Sassuolo, but I do think that Fiorentina will be an interesting team, and it's a jump right now. Where can you go now? What's that next step? How do you push further forward?
Yeah.
I've put Bologna in at number 7. Now, a lot of people will criticise me because they're a team that battle in and out for, obviously, European places. Champions League is where they want to be. And I go, obviously, for Lewis Ferguson for the majority of time because he's obviously at the football club. Lukumi's a big loss for them. Gone to Juventus, obviously just been announced as well. But Dovbyk coming in through the door, I think potentially shoots them into 7th and maybe even higher if they have a very good season and he scores a ton of goals. So Bologna, I think, will be in that 7th spot, and I'm intrigued to see how, obviously, the European places figure out as well.
Yeah, I like the look of this as well. You've got a good colour combination as well. It's like nothing's the same, it's just varying slightly. So, as we move on to the top 6.
Yeah, well, as the colour combination continues, here we go to Atalanta. Listen, it's a team that's interesting. How do you deal with, obviously, big players leaving? Palestra departing the football club was, I think, a terrific player, but at the same time, you're bringing in over 60 million for that player. And I think Atalanta are still a talented group of players, enough to be able to once again go again for European football. You got something to say? Yeah,
I'm wondering where this Scottish contingent team is coming in. I thought I don't know, I like them, but I thought I would have seen them by now.
Atalanta are going to be the team that I think are pushing for European football. So, all right, let's go to the team that you've been asking for, and we do.
There we go. Okay.
A colour clash. Listen, I'm not high on Napoli. I know they've got the Scottish players are there, the McTominay and Billy Gilmore's are there. I understand they've got that connection, but at the same time, Conte's gone. Right?
Yeah.
Allegri comes in through the door. It's a difficult coach, but still, he can make them competitive. Where will they be? I don't know. It's now probably Rasmus Højlund's show. If he can turn it on, I know McTominay's done a phenomenal job, but if Højlund can turn it on, they will potentially push themselves into 4th or 3rd place. I don't see them finishing 1st or 2nd, Napoli. I just don't have a great feeling about them.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of Allegri either at the same time. I'm going to throw that out there, but I've got a feeling they could end up in the top 4, especially if Højlund scores goals this year. But McTominay needs to stay healthy as well.
Okay, so European football, but now we go top 4. Who are we thinking?
I didn't know where to put Roma because I'm high on Roma. I think they could potentially challenge for the title.
Yeah.
And that's a crazy ask for me. But obviously the biggest question is, can they turn a lot of those draws into wins that they had last season? That's going to be the biggest question. Obviously, Champions League qualification will be interesting. I think they could challenge. If Gasperini takes care of business, obviously picks the team correctly, it's a talented group of players now, they have a chance. Daniel Malin, obviously, will probably determine how far they go. He got them into European football last season, and how they finished in Champions League spots is absolutely unbelievable. But I do think that he, now being more of a permanent signing, is going to enjoy his football a little bit more. So I'm intrigued. So, yeah, they might potentially be in the top 3.
Okay.
But I think European football is going to keep them a little bit further back. So I don't think the quality in depth is truly there.
Okay, and then
Gamble.
Are we saying with these top 3 now, these 3 are going to be challenging for the Scudetto, or is it going to be the top 2?
I think they're all challenging for the title. Honestly, I think it's open. I don't think Inter are running away with it this year. So that's why I've gone for Milan in 3rd. Milan could obviously challenge for the title as well. I've put them in 3rd spot because of the talent that they have in their disposal. I mean, last season, pretty disappointing for Milan. A lot of injuries they had to deal with, and obviously managerial changes they had to deal with as well. Do they have the new managerial bounce with Ruben Amorim coming in through the door? I'm a big fan of him. I love his football. I love his style. That one win against Manchester United proved to everyone that they mean business.
Yeah.
It was a good performance, albeit Manchester United changed their team. So I think maybe you have that new manager bounce. Gonzalo Ramos coming in through the door. If he scores goals, anything can happen for Milan. I really do believe it. If you think Rafa Leao, Christian Pulisic, Gonzalo Ramos at Milan. If all three of those are absolutely
exciting.
flying, it could be really exciting season for Milan. And listen, if it all goes right, they could challenge. But what we witnessed last year is they go on roller coasters, right? They have ups and they have downs, and the consistency is probably going to be key for whoever wins this Scudetto title.
Okay, so who is going to be the runner-up? Who's going to be the main challenger?
man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I'm picturing Grella and Marco and Poppy and Nigel and Troy all watching this right now, looking forward to match day on the Serie A game days, and me putting Inter second and Juventus at the top. Listen, I think Inter are favourites. They're everyone's favourite right now. But they weren't everyone's favourite last season when Kivu came in through the door. And not many people predicted them to win the title. I'd like to say I did. Not many of them did, right? But I did. And they deservedly won the title because there was no real competition. Juventus might not be the title winners this year. It might be Milan. It might be Roma.
Yeah.
The other two teams that I'm really high on here. But I think Juventus have done a really good job. Obviously, Spalletti's there, and he's an excellent coach. He's got a great pedigree behind him. Obviously, very well supported at the football club, especially with the money that he spent. He finally has a full pre-season under his belt. He has finally has a transfer window under his belt as well. No more Vlahovic to deal with as well. Obviously, in and out and hot and cold form in front of goal. That's a big disappointment. Randall Colomwani is permanent, so that's going to be fun to watch. So I'm really intrigued to see how that plays out. But I think Yildiz is still the main man. If Yildiz performs, Juventus perform. And if he stays consistently healthy, they have a real chance of springing a surprise this season. Weston McKennie's going to be key. Consistency from him. It's great to see him not be rumoured to leaving the football club. But if Jonathan David have a season as well, they've got some proper players. So, yeah, very disappointed for you Inter fans out there that have gone for them to finish second. They will most likely win it. But I wanted to spring a surprise, and I'm hot on Juventus this year. Not many people, I'm sure, out there are. But watch out for Juve. They're going to be a problem.